You know that friend who somehow never seems to catch what's going around. The office gets hit with a nasty cold in November, and they just shrug it off. Everyone at the family dinner comes down with something the next week, but not them. Their kid brings home a bug from school, and they still show up to work on Monday fine. It can feel like they won a genetic lottery the rest of us missed. But if you actually watch how those people live, day to day, something else shows up. They aren't doing anything wild or expensive or extreme. They're doing 8 small, boring, repeatable things almost without thinking. And those small things quietly stack up into a body that's harder to knock down. That's what this video is about. And I promise it's simpler than you think. I'm Milo, and today we're walking through 8 everyday habits of people who rarely get sick. None of this is medical advice, and none of it is a magic shield. But these are the calm, doable habits that keep showing up in the lives of people who stay well. Pick one, start there tonight, and let the rest come to you over time. The first habit is so small, you'll almost want to skip past it. People who rarely get sick treat their hands like the front door of the house. They wash them often, and they don't overthink it or turn it into a ritual. Warm water, a little soap, about 20 seconds, and they're back to their day. They do it before eating, after the bus, after the grocery store, after the gym. Here's the simple part. Most everyday bugs travel by hands, not by mystery. You touch a door, a phone, a card reader, and then you touch your own face. That short trip is where a lot of colds and stomach bugs actually start. Washing your hands is one of the smallest habits with one of the biggest payoffs. If soap and water aren't around, a little hand sanitizer works fine in a pinch. And when you're really sick, staying home protects the people you care about too. Now, before we go on, here's the part most people skip on this list. It isn't about doing more. It's about protecting the sleep you already have. Which brings us to habit number 2, and honestly, it's the quiet heavyweight. People who rarely get sick guard their sleep like it's a real appointment. They aim for a steady 7 to 9 hours, most nights, not just the weekends. They don't chase perfection. They chase consistency, which matters even more. Sleep is when your body does a lot of its quiet repair work behind the scenes. Skimp on it for a few nights in a row and you can feel yourself getting fragile. You know that raw, thin feeling after a bad week of sleep? That's your signal. So try this tonight. Pick a bedtime and treat it like a meeting you can't move. Dim the lights an hour before, put the phone across the room, and let your brain slow. If sleep is a real, ongoing struggle for you, please talk to a doctor about it. But for most of us, just being boring about bedtime is where the magic hides. Habit 3 is where a lot of people expect a long lecture, and I promise I'll keep it short. People who rarely get sick eat mostly real food, most of the time. Not perfectly, not obsessively, not with a color-coded meal plan on the fridge. Just a plate that leans on vegetables, fruit, whole grains, beans, eggs, fish, nuts, and olive oil. They still have pizza. They still have birthday cake. They just don't live on it. Here's why it works, in one plain sentence. Your body runs on the raw materials you feed it, and real food gives it more to work with. Colorful plants in particular tend to bring vitamins and fiber along for the ride. You don't need a perfect diet, and you don't need to buy anything fancy. You just need your default meal, the one you eat on autopilot, to be a decent one. Try this. Add 1 extra handful of vegetables to whatever you are already going to eat. That's it. That's the whole move. Repeat it enough days, and it changes you. If you have specific medical or diet needs, please work with a real professional on that. Habit 4 is the one people quietly resist the most, and I get it. People who rarely get sick move their bodies gently almost every single day. Not marathon training, not beast mode, not a punishment on a Monday morning. Just a walk after dinner, a few flights of stairs, a little stretching before bed. Some kind of I use my body today moment, most days of the week. Movement helps your circulation, your mood, your sleep, and your appetite all at once. It's one of the few habits that pays back into almost every other habit on this list. And you don't have to love the gym for this to work in your favor. You just have to stop treating movement like an all-or-nothing thing. 20 minutes of walking counts. Playing with your kid on the floor counts. Dancing around the kitchen while dinner cooks counts. And it counts more than you think. The people who rarely get sick just refuse to sit perfectly still all day, every day. If you're the kind of person who has been meaning to start exercising next month, start with a 5-minute walk today. Habit 5 sounds almost too simple to be on a list like this. People who rarely get sick drink water throughout the day without making a big deal of it. They keep a bottle nearby. They sip. They refill. That's really the whole system. They don't measure ounces or chase a viral hydration trend or drink until they're miserable. They just don't spend most of the day mildly dehydrated the way a lot of us do. Water helps your body do just about everything from digestion to temperature to focus. When you're low on it, you feel a little foggy, a little cranky, a little more tired than you should. And weirdly, that low-grade dehydration often gets mistaken for hunger or burnout. So try this. Put a glass of water next to your bed and drink it when you wake up. Then keep a bottle in your bag or on your desk, wherever you actually spend your day. Coffee and tea count for more than people used to think, so don't stress that either. Just make it easy for water to be within arm's reach, and your body will handle the rest. Now here's where it gets interesting, because habit 6 isn't really about food or exercise at all. People who rarely get sick manage their stress before it manages them. Not by escaping it, not by pretending life is calm, just by giving it somewhere to go. They walk, they talk to a friend, they journal, they pray, they garden, they laugh. They have a small, boring, repeatable way to let the pressure out of the day. Here's the simple part. Constant, unrelenting stress wears the body down over time. You feel it first as bad sleep, then tight shoulders, then a run of little colds you can't shake. It isn't in your head. It's a real signal that something needs to change. And you don't need a silent retreat in the mountains to fix it. You need 5 quiet minutes most days, where nothing is asking anything of you. Try this tonight. Sit somewhere quiet, breathe slowly for 2 minutes, and just notice. That's it. That's the beginning. It's smaller than you think, and it works better than you'd guess. If stress or anxiety feels heavier than everyday life, please reach out to a professional you trust. This isn't laziness or weakness, it's just a signal, and signals are meant to be listened to. Habit 7 is the one that surprises people, because it isn't about your body at all. People who rarely get sick tend to have real, warm human connection in their lives. A partner, a close friend, a sibling they actually text, a group they see on Tuesdays. They aren't the loudest person in the room. They just aren't quietly isolated for months on end. Because connection is more than a nice feeling, it's steady input your nervous system needs. When we're lonely for long stretches, sleep gets worse, stress climbs, and everything else on this list gets harder. When we feel seen, even a little, the whole day resets and the body notices. You don't need a huge social life to get this benefit, and you don't need to be an extrovert. You just need 1 or 2 people you can be honest with on a regular basis. Try this. Text someone you miss right now before you finish this video. Something small. Been thinking about you. That's the whole message. That's the habit. And I'd love to know, in the comments, which of these 8 is the one you already do without realizing it. Tell me which one you're trying first this week. I read them and it helps me pick future videos. Habit 8 is the one that ties this whole list together, and it's the quietest of all. People who rarely get sick actually listen to their body when it whispers. They don't wait for it to scream. They don't power through week after week and pretend everything's fine. If they're extra tired, they rest a little earlier that night instead of pushing to midnight. If their throat feels scratchy, they drink more water and go easy on themselves for a day or 2. If something feels off for longer than it should, they book the appointment, plain and simple. They treat checkups as maintenance, not as something you only do when you're already in trouble. Here's why it matters. Small signals caught early are almost always easier to handle than big ones caught late. That doesn't mean living in fear or Googling every twinge at midnight. Please don't. It just means treating your body like a teammate you actually talk to. You take care of it, and it takes care of you back. That's the whole deal. So let's put it all together, gently, before you go. Habit 1. Wash your hands often without making a whole thing of it. Habit 2. Protect your sleep like it's a real appointment on your calendar. Habit 3. Let real food be your default plate, most days of the week. Habit 4. Move your body a little bit, almost every day, however you like. Habit 5. Keep water close and drink it slowly all day long. Habit 6. Give your stress somewhere to go before it goes into your body. Habit 7. Stay warmly connected to the people who actually know you. Habit 8. Listen to your body early and check in with a professional when something feels off. None of these are magic. None of these are new. None of these will make you invincible. But stacked together, they quietly build the kind of person who rarely gets sick. Pick one habit tonight, just one, the smallest one, the one that made you smile a little. Do it for a week and let the others follow when they're ready. If this helped you today, go ahead and subscribe so the next one finds you. Hit the like button if you'd like more calm, doable wellness videos like this. And if there's someone in your life who's been running on empty, quietly send this their way. I'm Milo, and I'll see you in the next one. Take good care of yourself.